passionate about helping women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one you had envisioned for yourself, but the time is going to pass regardless. And sitting around feeling sorry for yourself is not a winning strategy. Oh, excuse me, I'm itchy today. It's been a crazy day here in Winsboro. I am not used to the way that it rains in Texas. Now, it didn't pour all day, but man, when it rains here, it just flat dumps. I grew up in a giant valley, so storms lose their oomph before they get to us. So, yeah, I've never seen rain like this in my life, and it's pretty cool. But I got to tell you, I'm a little obsessive about my 10,000 steps a day, and I did not get outside today. I got them in, but I did a lot of pacing in the little guest house that I'm staying in. But I got them done. That's all that matters. Anyway, dealing with unpleasant people. That's never fun. It's never fun. But you know what? It's part of life. None of us are going to get away from that. This information, by the way, is from iamandco.com. When you're dealing with unpleasant people, the first thing you need to do, take a deep breath. It's going to calm you emotionally and physically. It allows you to respond thoughtfully versus having that emotional reaction of, oh, damn it, you made me so mad. Don't respond to them like that. That's usually what they're looking for. If you can get yourself to take that deep breath, kind of center and focus yourself, and then you can respond thoughtfully. Well, frankly, it's going to piss them off, but it's going to make you look. Whoever loses control of their emotions, it doesn't matter how valid your stance is. If you can't control your emotions, you lost. So if you can learn to do that, it's going to go a long way when you're dealing with unpleasant and difficult people. Number two, you need to acknowledge your emotions. Are you hurt? Are you really pissed off? Are you shocked? I'll be honest, I'm usually shocked because I am still naive enough to believe, and I know this is ridiculous, but I'm kind to people. So I expect people to be kind to me in return. Now, I know that's not always going to happen, obviously. But I'll be honest, my first gut instinct when someone is mean to me is to just think, oh, how dare you? I'm nice. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with it. But whatever your emotion is, whether you're hurt, whether you're angry, whether you are shocked, they're all valid emotional reactions. And understanding how you feel in these situations, that allows you to learn how to respond and move on. And again, responding is when you can take that little emotional step back and, okay, you're a complete horse's ass. However, I'm not going to play into your drama. Number three, this one is the hardest thing on this list for me. Don't internalize. Don't internalize it. Don't let that crappy person affect your sense of self-worth because they don't deserve to have that power. When someone mistreats you, it's not about you. It's really not. And I know when you're in the middle of it, I know that's so hard to remember. But it's not about you. It's about them. It's about how they see themselves in the world. It's not personal. And I know, again, this is something I struggle with. In fact, I just had a conversation with a good friend of mine this morning. We had a little altercation and I told her, you know me, you know I take this stuff personally. Flip side of that is I know her and I know that what she said was not, it was said out of stress and worry, and it wasn't directed at me. But you got to remember that it's not personal. Number four, you need to know that you have a choice. I don't care what that person does to you. It is your choice how you want to respond to that. You choose to be upset or angry. You cannot control what other people do. You're never going to be able to control that. You can learn how to respond instead of having that just gut reaction. Don't play into it. Being a jackass back to them, it doesn't solve anything. All it does is drop you down to their level. And I'm sorry, but why? What the hell does that do for you? Nothing. It just makes you as crappy of a person as they are. Now, that being said, don't be a doormat. You got to stand up for yourself. People learn how to treat us by what we allow them to get away with. You've got to set you've got to set your boundaries. You've got to stand behind your boundaries. And if someone refuses to accept that, let them go. They're not worth it. They're not worth it. Which brings me to point number 5. You need to accept that they're not going to change. People who are routinely unpleasant, they have a lot of internal unresolved trauma. And that's not your problem. You can't fix that for them. Try to respond to them with kindness and compassion, but you've got to limit your exposure. If you can, gently ease them out of your life. Please don't be mean to people. There's really not a lot of reason to be mean to anybody, but it's up to you to gently nudge them. I'm sorry, I'm busy. I can't do that. I'm sorry, I'm not available. That's all you got to say. Bonus. Here's a bonus tip. Here's a big benefit to crappy, unpleasant people. They teach you a lot about who you don't want to be. So instead of just taking it as, oh my gosh, they're such a horrible person. Okay, maybe they are. But learn from that, grow from that. Okay, I know for a fact I don't ever want to be that way. That's a valuable lesson. Unpleasant people can teach us a lot if we choose to allow them to. Anyway, really short tonight. I'm late. I'm late because my girlfriend that I'm staying with, her amazingly talented and beautiful daughter. I freaking love this kid so much, but she made poached pears for dessert. Y'all are going to laugh. I've never had poached pears before. And so I was really curious. So I hung out until they were done, and it was well worth it. They were so good. So she's writing down her recipe for me as I speak. But that's all I have for tonight. If you have any questions, drop me a line. I try to be very responsive. Look, I'm not an expert on this. All I know is I used to be kind of an unpleasant person. And now I'm known as somebody with a good attitude and as somebody who's kind pretty much, I won't say all the time, but most of the time. I respond to people with kindness. Why? Because I refuse to let jackasses drag me down into the gutter with them. Now, that being said, if I get angry enough, I will give in to that, and I can throw down with the best of them, but I just don't want to. And every time I give into that, I feel so gross afterwards. I don't want to be that person. It's a choice. I choose to be positive. I choose to be happy. I choose to be kind. I just don't have time for people who don't. Anyway, y'all take care. I will be back. Gosh damn, I had to think about it again. I will be back Wednesday at 5:00. No. At 7:00 Central. I was about to say 5:00 Alaska time. That's what I said for years. I'll be back at 7:00